Yo, what up, guys? Well, whole thing people draft. Back for another video here. We have more things going while the Chargers are on bye week. But okay, yeah. And especially may rest in peace to um Dick Butkus from the legendary the Chicago Bears organization. So yeah, so here's more things for the Chargers coming up while they're on the bye week before next week against the Cowboys on Monday night. We got the sixth round draft pick of 2025 from the Patriots since we gave away J.C. Jackson back to New England. So yeah, J.C. Jackson isn't good anymore with us. So we trade him away back to New England from the Chargers. So yeah, we don't need J.C. Jackson anymore because we could have Derwin James, Alohi Gilman, Asani Samuel Jr., and who else? Um, J.T. Woods, Justier Taylor, yeah, and then Eric Kendricks is with us now. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, but especially as always, so Sebastian Joseph Day and also Morgan Fox. So honoring, but always may rest in peace to Dick Butkus, who is a longtime Bears legend that passed away today. But yeah, the Bears are already winning against the Commanders. So yeah, it's not that important at the end of the day when it comes along the team. So but my point is that this Chargers team would do more defensive help than J.C. Jackson because at the end of the day, J.C. Jackson played bad because he getting beaten by receivers on a one-on-one matchup during the game. And you know what? He was confused of getting benched, and then we trade him away to the New England Patriots because JC wants to go back to New England where he belongs. So he'll go back to where he belongs. But especially for the Chargers, we must do any better things going because at the end of the day, when the Chargers have no ways to do this deal at the end, so it's not enough when it comes along. You know, especially to this Chargers team with Brandon Staley. No J.C. Jackson anymore, so especially J.C. Jackson, go fuck yourself, dude. You're not a Charger anymore. Go back to the Patriots where you belong. And yet, while we took the win from Week 4 against the Raiders last week, but to another Raider fan, we want to say good game to is 27 Raider man. So we want to say good game to this guy. Since we got a lot of Raider fans, we want to say good game to any Raider fans we did after we beat the Raiders in Week 4, 24-17 with our Chargers. And so yeah, what's it for the Chargers team is gonna be better defensive backs without J.C. Jackson because you know, saying Bassie is back with the Chargers since he played one time with the Chargers, and now he's back with the team with the Chargers since then. And then Chargers are just gonna have another receiver call of a trade with Chase Claypool or Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts always plays for the Falcons, by the way. But Chase Claypool hasn't beaten the Chargers, so if he can't beat the Chargers, join him. Why not? Because at the end of the day, it does matter because it's on the line because everybody talks about it like all this suddenly because Kellen Moore and the offense can do a better one with no Joe Lombardi. But yeah, we're 2-2 now because Chargers Cowboys is going to be an exciting football game on Monday night in Week 6 in Los Angeles, the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, because it'll be Kellen Moore's revenge game against his old team in LA because it's the Bambi Bowl of Lance Alworth era since then. But Corey Toomer was a Charger and a Cowboy, and then especially Marcellus Wiley, and then Patrick Creighton, and who else? There is more guys. You know, yeah, since Patrick Creighton was there, Igor Olshansky was there. There are more guys. But yeah, especially at this point, at the end of the day, when the Chargers player were playing on a different team with the Cowboys. And then yeah, Tyron Johnson. Let's not forget about Tyron Johnson because Tyron Johnson's on the Cowboys for sure. Yeah, so we don't need Tyron Johnson, but he's on the Cowboys. But now we have Simi Feheko from the Cowboys to the Chargers. Yeah, we like Simi Feheko because he was good with the Cowboys and Steelers, but now he's with our football team with the Chargers. Because we don't need Zeke Elliott because he's a Patriot. So that's why we beat the Raiders since Dallas has beaten the Patriots. And you know what? While the Chargers are on the bye, while the Bears are beating the Commanders, here's going to be my picks. I suggest Minnesota pulls an upset against the Chiefs, which it means it's not going to happen. I say Vikings are going to pull the upset against the Chiefs, but I got to tell you again, it is not going to happen. But the Jets and Broncos game is going to be the worst game in the NFL. But the Jets can beat the Broncos. But it won't happen again. But the Packers, they could beat the Raiders too, of course. But yeah, like the Packers, they could beat the Raiders since they beat them in Super Bowl II in the Classic in the 60s. Before the 70s happened. For now, before the 70s. And you know what? What comes down to this for this Chargers team is to go 3-2 against the Cowboys and then go 4-3, except the loss against Kansas City or not. But we go 4-3 against the Chicago Bears team, and then we go 5-3 against the Jets, 6-3 against the Lions. We'll see, and then 7-3 against Green Bay, 8-3 against the Baltimore Ravens, and then 9-3 against the Patriots, 10-3 against the Broncos, and especially 10-4 against the Raiders, and then 11-4 against the Bills. I don't know. We'll see about that tough game. And then against the Broncos with a loss, and beating the Chiefs at home. Yeah, because what that depends on the point. When the Chargers are compared of going like, what that means at the end of the day, probably go 11 wins and then 5 wins, but especially 11 wins and then 5 losses. Who knows about that at the end of the day? I'll tell you again, 11 wins and especially concerns 6 loss. Why not at the end of the day? Because it'd be too much. We're going 12-5. If we go 12-5 and then 11-6 or 10-7 again, who cares? Well, we might go 12-5 for a reason. 11-6. At the end of the day, it doesn't depend what details are about it. Because at the end of my day, when the Chargers need more details to have more games, then losing is winning. You know, I'll say this one time. When the teams are just doing it themselves, that's on the line. It depends. To any Cowboy fans I know is Duke Botters. Um, yeah, I know Duke Botters. Brando, the Cowboy Celtics Cubs fan, who is a Cowboy fan too. Brando, the gaming championship, of course, and also the other Cowboy fans I know. But yeah, especially including one Cowboy fan I know is Duke Botters. But wish him best of luck to him and I for Monday Night Week 6. And you might check the Cowboys 49ers game, and Sunday night is a rivalry game. And you know what? You'll love this to see. But it's on the line because you know what? The Chargers are prepared to go 3-2 against the Cowboys next 2 weeks since we went 2-2. But we changed our minds. We went 2 wins against Minnesota and then 2 wins against the Raiders, besides 2 losses against Miami and Tennessee. Because what depends on the point that J.C. Jackson's the worst CB in the NFL because he doesn't play good and he plays like trash. See, that's why we trade him back to New England for a 6th-round draft pick in 2025. But yeah, who knows about this like right now because the Chargers make more opportunities of getting trades, and that is why they want trades because like what depends on the team is pulling themselves together. They want to pull it together. Like what is the difference? Because what all of it goes around is just the teams who play for and all that. So it's all on the line. It should be good. It should be great. But Brandon Staley should be fired anytime when he's ready. But if we lose, he's fired for good. We might need a new coach. So, and yeah, this is all I got to say at last. So, anyway, guys, I'm gonna head out. So it's your boy. Before I get out of here, before I head out, I mean, so Dick Butkus will never be forgotten as the Bears legend of linebacker. So may rest in peace. But anyway, guys, I'm heading out. Your boy George Trask. Peace as always. Bolt up and go Chargers.